What's up, guys? Today I'm going to talk to you about what you need to do if you want to win with your money. Anyone who's winning with their money is basically doing these things guaranteed. It's not always a guarantee, obviously, but if you want to win with your money, you've got to be doing these things. My name's Sean Hilliard. I'm here with Think Money. Thank you so much for tuning in. Before we jump right in, go ahead and hit that like button. Comment your favorite point as we're going through. Tag your friends. Go ahead and jump to our page. Follow it, like it, share it with somebody that really needs to hear this content. We're giving this stuff away as much as we possibly can, trying to keep everything very fresh for you so that you can win with your money. All right, let's go ahead and dive right in. There's 6 points, guys, that I went through, that I jotted down, that I wanted to go ahead and bring to you today. First thing, I think all of them are super important, so I'm just gonna go one at a time. Start with why you want to change your money. If you have a shallow why, and you don't have any reason, a deep reason for why you're trying to change and do something different, anything that comes up in the road, a bump, an obstacle, a block, some things get hard, it's gonna kick you right off. And it's gonna be that much harder to get back right on because you don't have something that is motivating you to keep going. You've gotta have a reason for why you wanna make that change. And it has to be strong enough for you to fight through those tougher times. If it's not strong enough, it just won't keep you sustained. It won't fulfill you enough. It won't give you that hope enough to keep on fighting. I'll give you an example that's non-money related. Personal story, I'm not gonna give you the numbers. 5 months ago in November, I stepped on the scale and weighed more than I had weighed in any amount of time that I can remember. Didn't like it at all. I've got 2 kids, that was my excuse. But it was really just laziness and not exercising and not eating right. And I was fed up with it. I didn't want to, the pants that I was wearing didn't fit. The clothes that I was wearing didn't fit. This shirt didn't fit. I mean, it was crazy. And I decided, you know what? I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to be frustrated every time I put clothes on. I don't want to be discouraged when it gets to the warmer months and we're going to the lake. I don't want to feel this way. I want to be able to be very active with my kids, as much as I possibly can be. And I just want to feel better. I want to look better, all those sorts of things. And so I decided that I was going to make a change. And since mid-November, I have worked out 6 times a week, really not missing any days. I was more intense about my nutrition early on, and I've been kind of lax lately, but I've lost about 14 pounds since mid-November. And I'm feeling so much better, and all the clothes that I'm wearing fit so much better. But that just gives you the point of, I had a reason for why I wanted to do this. And I had felt like, hey, I wanted to lose some weight before, but there was never a strong enough reason, and I wasn't fed up enough to make those changes in my life. What's going on, Scott? So the second thing, you've got to have a plan, and you've got to write it down. And when it comes to your money, this is called a budget. This is called being proactive and being intentional. People who win because they're proactive and because they're intentional. They don't just wake up and get lucky. That can happen, but quickly you'll see that people that happens to, they lose that blessing that they got. People that are intentional, they happen to life, and they don't let life happen to them. And that is so key. You've got to happen to your money. Don't let your money happen to you, or it'll just slip through your fingers. You've got to be telling it where to go. John Maxwell had a great saying that says, a budget is telling your money where to go instead of wondering where it went. You don't want to be looking back at the end of the month saying, where did all that money go that I earned? All that money that came into my bank account, I don't see it anymore, and I have no idea what happened to it. So you've got to be intentional, proactive. You've got to direct it. You've got to also believe that you are in control of your own destiny. There was a recent millionaire study that showed that 97% of millionaires believe that they control their own destiny. So they're in the driver's seat. Life's not happening to them. They are being intentional and taking control. I wanted to look at lottery winners. The bankruptcy rate amongst lottery winners is 4 times higher than those who did not win the lottery. And why do you think that is? Because the behaviors that led them to even purchase lottery tickets, or they didn't have strong financial behaviors, they go back to those after winning, and they lose it all because they didn't have a plan, because they didn't write it all down, because they didn't make a goal and stick to it. We are where we are today because of the decisions that we've made and because of the things that have happened to us. I think it's largely because of the decisions that we've made. I know that things happen to us that we can't control, but we can certainly control our response to the things that happen to us. And we can certainly control how we react and what we're going to do differently in the future so that we don't find ourselves in this position again where we might find ourselves today. Number 3, get an accountability partner. And get one that loves you enough to tell you when you're being stupid. If you're married, this is your spouse, okay? This has got to be your spouse. You've got to be on the same page when it comes to your money. You've got to be setting your goals and your values and your dreams together so that you can fight that fight together and stay on that path. If you're not married, this is not someone who's just going to be there to tell you, good job, I saw you do that thing. Great, keep it up. This is somebody that needs to be able to tell you these things. They need to be able to say, hey, you said you weren't going to do that. Why are you doing that? Or that is not going to lead you to where you want to go. Or no, don't go to the movies. Don't go shopping. Don't go out to eat. That's not going to get you out of debt. That's not going to get you to a point where you can invest. That's not going to get you to pay your house off. That's not going to be able to get you where you said you wanted to go. And so if it's that important to you and you wanted me to keep you accountable, here I am keeping you accountable. Now, that's a true friend. That's a true accountability partner. And anybody who's winning with money needs that. They need that, positive motivation, not constant criticism, but positive encouragement and motivation to keep that fight moving. Number 4, surround yourself with people that believe what you believe, and surround yourself with the information that'll keep you motivated, and stop believing all the lies that are out there. There are so many money myths, so many lies when it comes to anything surrounding money. And you don't want to be filling your mind with that, because when you fill your mind with that, it gets into your spirit and in your heart, and that's what you're going to start believing. If you start hearing something enough times, long enough, loud enough, it's going to start to be truth to you. You're going to start feeling like that is the way that life really is. One huge example of this is the myth that you need credit to be successful with your money in America or in this world today. That is just not true. You don't need credit. You don't need to build your credit score to be successful in this world today. You can, and honestly, it's a better life than trying to make Mr. FICO like you by giving you a great score. I've seen so many cases where somebody pays off a large debt and their credit score drops like 50 points or 80 points. And that doesn't make any sense. So to me, that FICO score is not a measure of how well you're doing. It's more just a measure of, are you lend worthy? Should we keep giving you money because we know that you're going to pay it back with interest? And that's not what you want to get into. When you're trying to win with money, when you are around people that are like you, you start becoming more like them. You guys start feeding off of each other. It's just like if you have kids, or if when you were growing up, your best friends, you guys ended up tending to be more like each other. And when you've got kids, you want your kids hanging out with certain types of people because you don't want them turning into a non-upright human being. And so you're a little bit more strict about who your kids hang out with. And that's how we need to be with ourselves. We need to be mindful of who do we talk to all the time, who is giving us information, who's filling our mind and our hearts with information to make sure that we are doing the things that we want to be doing. Number 5, this is a huge one, especially in this world today. Stop comparing yourself and your success to other people. You are not other people, and other people aren't you. I just want you to remember that. What you're doing is about you and your family. Stop measuring success against who's doing better. There's always going to be somebody out there that is doing better than you. There's going to be somebody out there that has more money, that has a better job, they have better kids, they're more attractive, they have a better singing voice, they're better at this sport, they play instruments better, so on and so on. There's always going to be that person. And in this world today, when we can ingest anything in an instant, it's so easy to find out what other people are doing. And then we look at ourselves and we say, I'm not doing that, so I must be doing poorly, or I must not be winning if that person's doing it because they look like they're winning. And that's the last type of mindset that you need to have if you want to stay motivated and win with your money or win with your health or win with your spiritual walk. You've got to get rid of that mindset of comparing yourselves to somebody else who looks like they're doing better. Let that be their problem. You take care of what you can control, which is yourself and your own journey. The last step, stay focused and don't give up. If you stay focused and you don't give up, you can do anything. I mean, I've lost 14 pounds in 5 months doing what I could do, things that I could control. You know, exercising, watching what I eat, going on regular walks, making sure I'm being active and I'm intentional about what I'm feeding into my body. And just like with your money, if you are intentional about where your money goes and you direct it and you're intentional, you really can see that progress. You may not see it in day one, and it may take more than a week. It may take a month or 3 months or 6 months to really see that traction. But if you don't give up, you will get better. You know, we've all heard this expression, how do you eat an elephant? You eat an elephant a bite at a time. You don't go in there and look at it and say, there's no way I can do this. You don't go up to a marathon start line and say, there's no way I'm going to finish it. You know, how do you run a marathon? You do it a step at a time. You've got to prepare to be ready for it, but you can't just go there and say, I'm going to sprint the first mile and think that I can keep doing that. You've got to be ready and then prepared so that you can keep going one step at a time. You got to break it down into small chunks. Give yourself some small wins every so often so that you can stay motivated. So guys, I'm going to recap them for you really quick. If you have any thoughts or any comments, go ahead and drop it down in the comments right now and let me know what you're thinking. I will be checking back to this video, so I'll be responding to any sort of question or feedback that anybody has. But number one, start with why you're doing it. Number two, have a plan and write it down. With your money, that is called a budget. And I'm happy to walk you through a first budget or a sample budget so that you can get on the right track and keep moving forward. Just let me know. Number three, grab an accountability partner. Again, if you're married, it's your spouse. If you're not married, find a good friend that's going to tell you when you're being dumb. Number four, surround yourself with people that believe what you believe and the right information. And a piggyback off of that, stop believing all the lies that are out there. People will tell you anything. So you've got to just know what you're bringing into your mind and your spirit and stay the course and keep moving forward. Number five, stop comparing yourself to others and to the success of other people. And number six, stay focused and don't ever give up. If you stay focused, you do these other 5 steps that I just mentioned there, you really can live a different life tomorrow because you're going to be making different choices today, and that will lead you to success later on. Hey, thank you so much for tuning in. We'll be back again, maybe tomorrow, definitely later this week, just to give you a little bit more content, a little bit more information. God bless you. See you soon.